Okay, it's kind of sunny here this morning. I'm working on Eye Woman here. You can see, if you remember, I had these things kind of aligned here. I've added something that looks a little bit like eyelashes, but that's, well, that's something that's going to move all the way through it, and part of the image making, which I could talk about later. But, you know, I did the same thing here. I was managing the layers, and I just wanted to talk about the other way. I did a lot of cutting away here, but what I found was this area here was kind of thin, so I'm doing something else, which is the other way to manage layers, and that is not to cut away but to add. So I've added another layer here, as you can see, and I did stitch around this area from the front, and now I'm not actually going to cut away that area. I'm actually going to cut around it. Let me take the pins out first. I just did that so it wouldn't bubble up too much. And I'm not going to cut into this because I can probably use this for a mask for something else. So now I'm just actually cutting around the outside of the shape rather than inside. Got my windows open here. You can hear the birds, but you can probably also hear some crazy motorcycle people going by. Sometimes I do cut holes, you know, by accident, but that's okay. I'm really good at mending, actually. Right. It's all part of what happened and what you did about it. So what I'm doing here is actually cutting away the excess so that I can actually add to the back of that one area and not actually make it thinner, but actually make it thicker. Because I want to do some stitching in here, and when I was doing this stitching here, I realized that it was not stable, but the rest of it is feeling great. And I also want to mention that, you know, when you work this way, something starts to form on the other side, and I just love that that this eye is kind of reinforced by some sort of sky there. So, you know, that's the other option here. Managing the layers, you can also manage the images on both sides, because very often the other side becomes very interesting in the process. So managing layers by cutting away, managing layers by adding back in, perhaps. Feels good.